One of them wanted to be the security guy. He claimed he was a security guy.
Welcome back to Security Guy Radio.
Well, thanks for having me. Yeah. I'm Alan Forman. I'm president of Altronix.
What does Altronix do?
Altronix provides technology solutions for integration of disparate systems, such as all the new technology that's being deployed by the major surveillance and access control manufacturers, and we try to integrate with their software platforms.
So power supplies, I never thought of as being independently manufactured. But they are, really. They're a whole different industry.
That's right. Altronix caters to a wide range of applications for power, from powering hardware and cameras, all through the gamut of main microprocessors and controllers. And just up until recently, one of the issues that came to light is that power supplies, being a main component of a security system, requires maintenance and requires monitoring and requires a way for them to be communicate on the network along with the other equipment, creating RMR opportunities for the integrators and making sure that we reduce downtime and service problems and keeping the systems up and running 24/7.
Now, before this current state of power supplies, what was the old school? Was it you plug it in, and if it burns out, you know it's not working, you'd send it out and replace it? It really was not interactive with the system it was powering?
That's right. It was always an unknown, actually, for power problems.
So you didn't know if it was really functioning properly or not?
Absolutely.
No,
could have been a short circuit on a loop. It could be caused by something else rather than the power supply itself.
So it's interesting. I didn't specifically come out here to talk about integration. It's come up with everybody. Integration is great because now the power supply can talk to the cameras, we can talk to the HR department and all these other things, but then it's also not good for hacking, it's also not good for terrorism, things like that. So how do each manufacturer handle the security side of the integration? I mean, you make the product, you sell it, in the camera industry, for example, they ship the camera and it's an IP address, it's a computer, you get a default password on it, right? And then it's up to the installer to do something about it. How does the power supply in Altronix handle that kind of part?
Well, we've designed into our software security measures, including secure socket layer, and the software is password protected. There are layers of security for different personnel to have access, etc. Our products send out SNMP trap messages or emails, depending on what the integrator is looking for, to report all kinds of diagnostic conditions on the products. We monitor the battery's health, we monitor the outputs, we provide control of the outputs to reset devices. There's a whole slew of benefits along with trouble report logs and event history.
Now, are we creating new jobs and new types of people that manage just the power supply IT part of it, right? Because there can be a system guy that handles a lot of things, but power is network critical. It's mission critical. If we lose power in anything, we got a problem. So when you put the power supply in and we're using your software, is that passed off to the innovator installs it, but then is it passed off to the owner, or do you guys work with the owner and whoever you're supplying power to make sure that that's still running? Well,
basically it's optional. It's feasible that an end user can actually monitor his own power supplies on his own premises, but that's not what the big picture is.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't read. It's it's kind of reversed in like a camera business, right? So once you pass the camera off, that's
there
on
you
the
go.
owner. So you maintain maintenance.
The big picture is that the installation company can, number one, make sure that the system is running and that the customer is having a higher level of security here. And interestingly enough, the goal here is not to actually log into the power supplies and transmission products and manage them individually, but we are providing API interfaces that are customized for the integrator, and also in the process of integrating with the top manufacturers' VMS platforms so that when a system is interrogated or if there's an issue, they can actually see the power supplies that are deployed in a single or
one customer and see how
multiple power supplies in a single location or multiple power supplies in a multi-site location.
Oh, okay.
In multiple sites, actually.
Okay.
And without requiring them to go through our individual software one unit at a time.
Now, what I find in the industry is that manufacturers of other components that go on a network, once they manufacture, install, walk away, it's the owner of the device's issue, right? They take ownership of the security part of it. I'm happy to see that the people that manufacture the power supplies are concerned about the security of the power supply to participate and continually participating with the client. Because from a terrorism point of view, you know, if they could unplug us, we'd be down and out for a long time.
Inherently, the level of additional service provided by the intelligence and the communication networking of our products within the system creates a stronger bond between the integrator and the end user.
Now, do you own the integrators, or other integrators in the industry are trained on your product?
That's correct.
Okay.
We are out there speaking with the consultants that specify the projects, the key integrators that actually deploy the products, and they are versed on the deployment and the operation of it.
What do you see as the biggest threat to the industry right now with the integration? Not just power supplies, but just in general. What's a big thing people are talking about or concerned about?
Concerns in the industry are how to process the large packets of information that are now available to them. The problem is not how much security you can provide, it's how you can meaningfully process and react to it in real time.
Too much data now. It's getting
too much data.
Yeah.
Not good enough to have the forensics. The goal of a security system is to prevent a loss in the first place.
Any new products on the market you want to talk about?
Well, actually, Altronix has a slew of new products that we believe are going to be advantageous for deployment, providing, as you know, the industry is going to IP. Altronix provides products that extend the range of IP, which are very important benefits, where you have devices that are beyond the typical 100-meter limitations. Again, a slew of products that address the repurposing and reuse of upgrading analog systems without replacing the coaxial cable.
Well, now, how do we do that? That's interesting. I've heard a couple other people talk about that.
Right. We have what we call data converters that actually permit IP over existing copper coax with high quality and longer distances than effectively attainable with Ethernet cable.
I think when I was at IC West, somebody told me that 2014 was the year that IP had still not outsold, you know, old school analog. Analog was still outselling IP. I think maybe in 2015 they say it's changing. So there's a lot of stuff out there that's still analog, and so you can throw it away. The budgets are too tight.
No question about it.
Yeah, so you can convert it and it can work. Sure. What was the name of that software that I saw on the floor out there? What was that called?
Link.
Link. Yeah, Link.
Right. We have right now an offering of Link-enabled products. We have power supplies and other transmission devices, power and transmission devices that are capable of operating with the Link technology. And we are able to monitor a host of diagnostic functions.
Now, with Link, it sounds like a verb, right? So you're able to link all these different power supplies. You can link analog, you can link digital, you can link system down the street. What's the range on the linkage? Is it just whatever the network can bear?
Well, Link is the connectivity between, it has nothing to do with distance. It has to do with the ability to locally or remotely access myriad devices throughout a facility or throughout multiple facilities.
And how high would a power supply be that's monitored and how low? I mean, we can monitor.
Thresholds are selectable, so the particular application or installation can be tailored to actually determine what functions or what alerts would be desirable for the system.
I like the fact that the actual power supply itself can send you out an email, can send you out an alert, instead of the guy that's monitoring it, who hopefully he's not watching TV, he's paying attention, but the device itself can actually send you notifications that it's having an issue. That's amazing.
It allows for a pretty rapid determination as to what the problem might be, if there's any. And it could, in fact, rule out the fact that the power supply is not the problematic issue, and that there's intermittent AC power on the premises or some other problem that might exist.
Yeah, I remember at the studio, the main power flipped, nobody knew it, then it went to UPS, and they didn't pay attention to the UPS either. It wasn't smart back then. And the guy was supposed to be looking at the monitor and he was doing something else, and the X-Files went off the air for 15 minutes.
In addition to reporting real-time issues, our unit also is capable of sending out a reminder that after a certain period of time, the installer knows, or the end user knows, that it's time to routinely change battery backup.
Oh, interesting.
Which is a great feature.
Yeah. No, I never knew so much about power. It's amazing. And you still have the most amazing looking booth of all the booths out here.
Well, thanks so much,
Does it ever win a
Chuck.
prize? It should. It's really cool looking.
Well, there's more revolutionary technology and enhancements to come.
Great. Thanks for stopping by, Alan, from Altronix.
Appreciate your time.
Website again, altronix.com, right?
Altronix.com, it is.
Thanks for coming on Security Guy Radio. All right, it's a wrap.